Hello, welcome to the Fire Burns Within channel. I thought I'd do this little short video after my marathon videos going through my collection. This is like a little roundup, little stat video if you like, of all the things I noticed going through my collection. First of all, this is funny, man. I was just thinking, I've sold all my Slayer CDs. I just realised, have you ever seen a metalhead who doesn't have any Slayer CDs in their collection? That's crazy. I can't believe I've sold all my Slayer CDs. I used to have them, trust me. I sold them all because, like I said, I culled about 300 CDs about a year ago. So a lot of CDs went in that. I mean, I like Slayer. I don't love Slayer. I like Slayer, but all my Slayer CDs went. And another thing, have you ever heard of a metalhead that doesn't have any Black Sabbath CDs? And trust me, I had about 4 or 5. I had the classics. I even had the Dio ones, Heaven and Hell. I had some compilation ones, so on. All the Black Sabbath went. I just never listened to them. Stuff that has no sentimental value or no chance of being played again for whatever reason. Even if I want to hear Sabbath, I'll just go to the internet somewhere. I don't pull out a CD. So no Black Sabbath, no Slayer. So embarrassing. So embarrassing. Probably other bands as well. Like for Metallica, I don't have Ride the Lightning for some reason. I don't know. Obviously, I've heard it, but I just don't have the CD. I had the cassette ages ago, but I never got the CD. And there must be lots of other bands which I like. Pantera, which I don't really like. But anyway, I had a lot of Pantera CDs. Probably 4 Pantera CDs. They all went. Who else? There's lots of big bands that are missing from my collection. Straight metal, more modern metal, or thrash metal. Well, modern metal you won't find in my collection anyway. Slipknot, nah, I'm not into that. Korn, all that stuff, all that new metal stuff. It's not me. That's not me. Anyway, some other stats. Yeah, I counted 614 CDs in my collection after doing this little spreadsheet here on thing. The colors you see on the screen represent the styles. So basically, I've split the genre styles into 7. The yellows are power heavy metal, what I call more modern power heavy metal. The green is traditional metal, stuff like Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, so on, Saxon, like more traditional stuff before the new wave of power metal. The blues represent a mix: death, black, doom, growls, anything with non-clean vocals are blues. This orange one is AOR melodic rock. Red is thrash. This lighter green is modern and others, which are hard to pigeonhole. And the purple one down here is progressive metal. So if you go down, you can see the color mix between. I don't know if you can see it in the video as it goes up, but you should be able to. You can see all the colors in this thing, all the way down to 614 currently. I think my collection was probably around 900 then, before I sold a big old bundle. Okay, some more stats. I've got 287 different bands in my collection. Out of 614, there's 287 different album titles, like different bands. Which is, I don't know, I think it's quite good. I think it's pretty diverse. I mean, I like a lot of soft stuff that a normal metalhead wouldn't like all my AOR stuff that a normal metalhead just wouldn't like. So I think if any other person counted up all the different bands in their collection. Maybe they might reach more, but percentage wise, I think, say 287 from 614, that's nearly half. So it's coming up to nearly half different. It's not, so, because I don't have a lot of, like, I've got a couple of bands which I've got almost everything, but sometimes I don't have the ones that I don't need or keep from a certain group. And anyway, let's have a look at the breakdown. This is the final stat I wanted to show. I'd say 219 were power heavy metal albums out of the 614. So that's where my main interest lies: power, melodic, heavy metal. 92 traditional metal styles. That's like the older metal styles, stuff from the 80s and before, and modern stuff that doesn't fit in with the power metal. Like, it's more just traditional. Like, for me, like a band like Savatage is not really power metal. They're like a more traditional heavy metal, but it's borderline. So you could say the power and trad together is what? It's just over 300. So half my collection is based on power traditional metal styles. The death, black, doom, anything with growls is 136, which is quite a decent number. It's not bad. It's like about 1/5, something like that. So I'm not so much into the death growling stuff now. I mean, I still listen to it, but I'm not heavily into it. When I first started on metal, I was more heavily into that. So I got rid of a whole load of death and growly stuff as well, because I know when I did my cull, can you imagine the 300 CDs? I'd say easy 150 of them were darker sounding bands with death, growls, doom, whatever. All styles which are not melodic. I mean, they're still melodic sometimes, but not with melodic singing. Anyway, 69 of my current collection I'd class as AOR or melodic rock. So about 10%, just a little bit more than 10%. Because I do like a lot of AOR and melodic rock now. Thrash, which is another one of my original loves, is 62%. So it's near enough 10% again. Just dead on 10%. Now, modern and others, only 13 in my collection. I like modern rock bands. I mean, I mentioned them a lot, but only 13 in my collection. But I do listen to a lot of them now. I just don't have the CDs. And anything progressive, like progressive rock, specifically progressive rock. I mean, some of the other ones, the power ones, they might have prog tendencies, but I don't include them as a prog band. But say Dream Theater is a progressive metal band, so there's no denying it. So those number 23 out of the full 614. So yeah, that's all I want to do. This is like a little stat roundup of my collection. 614 CDs, used to be about 900, I guess. Yeah. Every now and then I fancy going on a buying spree, and then I think to myself, well, I'll only put them on the shelf. What's the point? It's good to have them sometimes, but even if I wanted to listen to them, I'll just go to Spotify or YouTube or something. I don't know. I rarely reach for a CD, but it's still good to have the CDs. I enjoy them. I mean, even looking at them is fun, and doing these videos was fun. So anyway, that's the roundup. Stay tuned.